What's going on? My name is Mark, aka SauceStache, and on today's episode of Eat Kindly with me, we're doing another recipe hack. This time, it's vegan KFC style drumsticks. I mean, look at these. Okay, so first things first, on our Kentucky Fried Jackfruit, which I can't wait for. This is gonna be so good. All we're gonna do is take our 2 cans of young green jackfruit. We're gonna open it up, drain it out, rinse them, and then just wash the jackfruit really well, squeezing the hard ends to break the jackfruit up and removing as many seeds as we possibly can. I mean, I just love how much jackfruit, once it's all broken up, just looks like almost like a pulled chicken, like how you would make like a chicken salad. I mean, it's just, it comes out so good. So now at this point, we're gonna flavor the jackfruit, get rid of some of that fruit taste, add some more chickeny taste to it. And to do that, we're just gonna use a chicken flavored broth. Now me personally, I really like the Shangi chicken flavor broth. This stuff's really easy to find online or at like your local Asian market. It is 100% plant-based. It uses artificial chicken flavor. Now if you can't find Shangi, there's loads of other chicken flavored broths. Better Than Bouillon makes a chicken flavored broth. It's like unchicken or non-chicken flavor. And then you could also just use like some vegetable broth. So we're just gonna load the jackfruit into a saucepan and cover it with water. I'm gonna use probably about 4 or 5 cups of water. And then we're gonna add about a teaspoon of our chicken flavor broth mix, bring it up to a simmer and let it simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, so the jackfruit's looking really great. All we're gonna do now is strain the liquid out of the jackfruit, put the jackfruit into a separate bowl, and then all we're gonna do is add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch sprinkled generously over the top of your jackfruit and give it a good mix in. Make sure everything's nice and coated. And then we're gonna allow the jackfruit just to sit for a little bit to kind of come down in temperature before we start adding any of the rest of the ingredients. We don't want it to be too hot. We wanna be able to work with it. Okay, so the jackfruit's cooled down to a more like workable temperature. The nice thing is it's like sticky. That cornstarch has kind of like got everything to where it can stick together and work together. The next step, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of gluten flour or vital wheat gluten. It's all the same thing. It's gonna really help bind these together without having too much in between. It's just gonna create like a nice malleable jackfruit that we can kind of work into a chicken shape. Then all we're gonna do is just work this in by hand, just almost like kneading, just you're squeezing the jackfruit into the gluten. And then once you're done, you have a formable jackfruit that will hold its texture and shape and have like a really nice bite. It's gonna come out so good. I'm so excited for this. Now to really amp up the texture of our jackfruit and really to give this Kentucky Fried Jackfruit like a really realistic feel to it, we're gonna add a layer of skin on the outside of the jackfruit wing, on the outside of the jackfruit drumstick. And to do that, we're gonna be using bean curd sheets. It goes by a few different names: bean curd sheets, tofu skin, soy skin, yuba. It's all the same. A lot of times you can find it frozen. This is the one that I recommend. Now I'm just gonna carefully unfold my soy skin. Sometimes the dried soy skin is a little bit harder to work with. That's why I like using this fresh frozen, because we want this to be in pretty large sheets. And the soy skin can break and crack, which is gonna make it a little bit more difficult to work with if that happens. Now, some soy skin comes in like really large sheets. Some of it comes in little squares. We're gonna try to make them about the size of a sheet of paper. This is gonna be the perfect size that we need to kind of coat our drumstick to make a skin. So we definitely don't need all of these for this recipe, but this stuff is a little hard to work with, so I am going to hydrate all of it now. I can store the rest of it in the refrigerator and just throw it in different dishes and just eat it how it is. It's gonna be good. But we're gonna use the remainder of our hot chicken broth that we used here and just pour that over. Now, if you don't have a whole lot of your chicken broth remaining, to hydrate this up, then you could just add some hot water, or you can just add some more chicken broth to it. The tough thing is once these fold on top of themselves, they're really sticky and they're hard to kind of peel apart. That's why we peeled them all apart first, and then we're hydrating them flat so that way we can pull the sheets up as we need them. Okay, so now that we have our jackfruit chicken and our skin, we just need the bone. For our bone today, I'm going to be using lemongrass. So all I'm gonna do is just remove the outer layer of the skin of the lemongrass. You don't wanna remove too much, otherwise you're gonna really kind of dampen the way this is gonna work. Cut off the top, And then we're going to cut this into probably 5-inch sections to create the bone for our chicken. And then these look great. These are gonna be great chicken bones. So now all I'm gonna do is just give them a quick rinse. That's gonna do two things. It's gonna rinse off the lemongrass, but it's also gonna dampen them up. So that way we can add a little bit of cornstarch to the outside of the lemongrass. That's gonna help the jackfruit kind of stick and adhere to the lemongrass a little bit better than it would if you wouldn't use it. Okay, we got everything ready to go. Let's assemble our jackfruit chicken drumsticks. We're gonna grab one of our lemongrass sticks along with a nice handful of your jackfruit. Place the lemongrass into the jackfruit. Give it a squeeze. Now you don't wanna make these too big, otherwise they're just not gonna really cook that great. They won't hold that great and they'll kind of fall apart a little bit. You don't want that. You want them to have a nice chickeny texture and hold together really well. And we're just squeezing the jackfruit onto the lemongrass. And then there we go. That is our lemongrass jackfruit drumstick. It's perfect. Now at this point, we're gonna carefully grab one of our soy skins, which just looks awesome. And we're gonna lay it in almost long ways, so that way the top is near the middle. Fold over, and we're going to kind of fold towards the bottom and then twist in. And then there it is. I mean, look at that. It's amazing. So for the next step, all we have to do is just cover these up. I'm gonna throw them in the freezer and let them freeze for about an hour to 2 hours. Even really the longer the better. You don't want them to be completely frozen solid, but you do want them to be frozen on the outside. That's what's gonna make these fry together really well and what's gonna allow them to get the batter and just not kind of just fall apart as soon as you batter them. So now we're gonna make our Kentucky Fried coating for this. Now this is gonna be based on a recipe that I've done in the past, which is based on a recipe that was found in the Chicago Tribune a few years ago, where the writer found what they believed is the original Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. Now I've tested it and it comes out good. Really good. I have a video where I did a Kentucky Fried mushroom, where I did chicken of the woods mushroom. I battered it and fried it just like you would Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it was delicious. So here we're gonna do that same Kentucky Fried recipe. So we're gonna start with 1 cup of our cashew milk, and we're gonna be making essentially like a buttermilk batter. Then we're just gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of lemon juice. And now we're gonna add our egg replacer to this mix. Now I'm gonna be using just egg. We just need 1 egg equivalent, which is about 3 tablespoons. Now you don't have to use just egg. You can use just about any other egg replacer and just measure out for their 1 egg equivalent. It's all gonna work out pretty well. I personally like to use just egg, but you can also use Bob's Red Mill egg replacer. I've used that quite a bit in the past. You can even use some like aquafaba, flaxseed, chia seed. It's all gonna work pretty well. You just need something that's gonna be thick and something that's gonna help the batter stick to the chicken. So let's just give this mixture a whisk. We'll just set that to the side. Now let's put together our 11 herbs and spices. We're gonna start with 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons salt, 1½ teaspoons dried thyme, 1½ teaspoons dried basil, 1 teaspoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon celery salt, 3 tablespoons white pepper, 1 tablespoon ground yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons paprika, 2 tablespoons garlic salt, and 1 tablespoon ground ginger. Lastly, we're just gonna crack in some fresh black pepper and then whisk together the dry ingredients. Now before we get into the process of coating these, let's go ahead and get ready to fry them. So I'm just gonna use a large Dutch oven and then I'm gonna fill it with some vegetable oil, and then we just wanna heat this up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Once we have it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, go ahead and dip your chicken into the wet batter, then from the wet batter directly into the dry batter, pressing the flour into the jackfruit chicken. As soon as you press it in, don't let it sit, throw it right into the fryer. We're gonna let these fry at 350 degrees for about 12 minutes. Let them get golden brown. Remove them from the fryer, throw them onto a rack, and then enjoy your Kentucky Fried Jackfruit Chicken Drumsticks. Oh, these are gonna be good. And baby, look at these KFC chicken wing. Do you like that I put them in the bucket?
I love that. Yeah, that makes it. I love that.
I'm so excited. Cheers. KFC jackfruit chicken. That is really good, really good.
That's awesome.
It really does look like chicken. That looks like chicken, come on. Well, this is SauceStache for Live Kindly. What did you think of today's KFC style recipe? And what plant-based hack would you like to see me make next? Leave a comment down below and don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. See you next time.